Welcome into another video in my series where I'm going through and testing every single weapon inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see just how viable these weapons are to be using inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. So if you guys are new around here, this will include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the MW2 weapons. So make sure you are subscribed, turn on those bell notifications so you're never going to miss another upload from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As well, down below you will find the link to my streams, and I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'd just be honored to have you guys come and hang out. I play a ton of custom zombies and other zombie related games over there, and generally just have an awesome time doing it. Now today brings us to something I genuinely enjoy doing, and these are some of the most enjoyable runs I do so far inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. And that brings us to today's video, which is a viewer suggestion from you guys to try out the Chimera from MW2 and see how it performs inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So in today's video, we're going to be going through the Chimera and taking on bounty contracts in all three zones, seeing how this weapon performs inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you have a really good feel for how the Chimera performs inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games and whether or not this weapon is going to be a viable option for you. So without further ado, let's get to the Chimera review video today. Welcome into today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Now today we're going to be checking out the Chimera from MW2 and seeing how this weapon performs inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. And I'm really excited to run this today as it's another one of your viewer suggestions for weapons, and I love to run your viewer suggestions. So if you guys have one that you haven't seen or that you'd like to give me a shot and try, then go ahead and put those down in the comments section. And if you have a specific build you'd like me to run, then go ahead and put that down in the comments section as well, and we will get to it. Now in today's video, when we spawn in and do these weapon testing videos, I spawn in and put on my perks with no additions to the weapon whatsoever. So no tools, no pack-a-punch, and no ammo mods. I do have one extras with me today, which is my golden armor plates. And so we went and marked our first bounty contract of the day inside of tier 1, and we went and picked that up, and I was really intrigued to see how this weapon was going to perform on a bounty contract inside of tier 1, being only white rarity for sure. So we went and grabbed our first bounty contract of the day, and the first one we were taking on today was a Mimic. Now, I could see that this definitely wasn't one of the strongest weapons that I have used right off the hop inside of Tier 1 on a bounty contract, but I will definitely say that this weapon performs really well against this bounty contract inside of Tier 1. It definitely does some decent damage for sure to the bounty contract. So this is definitely something at this point that was intriguing me to see how it would perform as we make the weapon stronger and, you know, push through the higher threat levels inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Now you can see I was able to finish the bounty contract off there, and it's definitely strong. But like I said, I was feeling like there's other weapons that are, you know, top of the class that are definitely going to be stronger for sure. But I was not disappointed for sure at all. Like I was definitely, you know, seeing some damage, some critical damage on the bounty contract, so that was a plus. So the next thing to do was to go visit the pack-a-punch machine, melee in the machine to make sure I can keep that camo and blueprint combination I have on the weapon for the rest of the run, as I think it looks absolutely amazing. So the next thing to do was to pick up another bounty contract inside of tier 1 and take on our second Mimic of the day. And this time we are white rarity and pack-a-punched only with no ammo mods, and I could tell there was a big difference once we pack-a-punched in the damage output of the Chimera for sure. So we got a schematic which I grabbed. I was hoping to find another player to hand that off to today, but unfortunately I was unable to stick through to the end of the video to find out why, because that was quite the ending for sure I had today. So the next thing to do was to throw on my legendary tool and napalm burst and go off and find ourselves our last bounty contract of the day inside of tier 1. And I like to do this inside of tier 1, take on a bounty contract at legendary napalm burst and pack-a-punch inside of tier 1 to see if this is going to be as close to a one-shot as I can see, because that bodes extremely well as we push forward into the higher threat levels for sure. And I was not disappointed. That third Mimic of bounty contracts inside of tier 1 definitely got evaporated extremely fast, which made me excited to push into tier 2 to take on a bounty contract. But I did not want to visit pack-a-punch first. I wanted to just keep the weapon damage output where it was. So pack-a-punch 1, legendary with napalm, go into tier 2 and grab ourselves a bounty contract. And I wanted to see, because like I was really intrigued with this Chimera to see how it was performing inside of tier 3, and it was definitely doing, or inside of tier 2, sorry, and it was definitely doing well for sure. We got a Mangler bounty contract inside of tier 2. And these can be fairly tanky sometimes at a Pack-a-Punch 1 level inside of Tier 2, but I had no issues. I was feeling extremely confident taking on that Mangler bounty contract. As you can see, we pretty much just barrel stuffed him to finish that off. He gave us a Casimir, which was awesome to see. I love to pick up Casimirs. Definitely fun. Saves me 5k at the buy stations. That is a win. So the next thing to do was visit the dubious Pack-a-Punch 2 machine, where I managed to screw up the camo just about every single time I visit. I tell you, I honestly get nervous walking to that Pack-a-Punch machine inside of Tier 2 when I record now. It's kind of funny, but if you've been following along, you'll know exactly why. So now we are Pack 2, Legendary inside of Tier 2 with the Chimera, and I wanted to grab a bounty contract and see, is this going to be similar to our bounty contract inside of Tier 1? And then I don't know what the heck happened there. I went to put my chute out, but I caught the top of that building and I just about died. We're just going to move on from that. Like, what the heck was that? Anyway, we picked up the bounty contract. It was a Disciple. Yay. Also, just a side note, I really hope they fix the vehicle audio sometime soon, because I had to cut that quickly because the audio got extremely loud after the vehicle left my area. Let me know if you guys have that same issue inside of your games. So annoying. Anyway, we got a Disciple. As you know, I'm not a big fan of Disciples, and this one definitely was trying to continue to heal off of me for sure, but the damage dished out by the Chimera at Pack 2, Legendary 2, or Legendary Tool, with napalm inside of Tier 2 on that bounty contract was astonishing. I was at this point really excited to go ahead and get this weapon to max damage and take on what was to see, you know, what Tier 3 had, because being able to just dismantle that Disciple as quickly as I was excited. So we climbed up the tower like I always do to head into Tier 3. We threw on our Pack-a-Punch 3 crystal that I bring in every single match, and then it was time to ping the Wonder Fizz machine and head into Tier 3, you know, with high expectations for the Chimera for sure. You guys definitely know your stuff in the comments section for weapon builds, 100%, and one of the reasons why I truly enjoy running your guys' weapon builds for sure, as you guys have uncovered some truly hidden gems inside of this game, and it is awesome to see and tons of fun to use your suggestions. Now, when I spawn in Tier 3 after grabbing my perks, I like to see if this ritual is here or not, so that I could possibly replenish the Pack-a-Punch 3 crystal I use on my runs and the Legendary Tool, but alas, they were all taken this match. So I was trying to find a bounty contract inside of Tier 3 today, but when I got in, there was over 14 players inside of Tier 3, so it was very busy, and there was not a bounty contract to be had inside of Tier 3. So I did get very lucky. I couldn't believe it with the number of players inside of Tier 3 that I was able to find a cargo contract to do inside of Tier 3, plus the fact that I had to run almost across all of Tier 3 in order to pick it up, and nobody managed to grab it. So I was thoroughly impressed with this and feeling like my luck had changed in this run, and I might have been able to find myself a bounty contract to show you all. So I was very excited to have this cargo contract for sure. So we managed to finish off the cargo contract right here. There was another vehicle there, so somebody had already done a cargo contract inside of Tier 3. Checked our loot. We got a sigil, which I was planning on using, but I couldn't. Stick through, you'll find out why. So the next thing I want to do was show you crowd control with the Chimera inside of Tier 3, Pack-a-Punch 3, Legendary with napalm. How does it handle the crowd control inside of Tier 3? Definitely without mags of holding, I certainly notice the fact that I'm reloading quite often for sure. As you have 90 Pack-a-Punch with this, it comes with a 45 round magazine, is the biggest you can put on this weapon. So that was one thing I noticed, but I did notice as well that the damage output from the Chimera in crowd control is definitely decent for sure. Definitely something that is viable to be using inside of Tier 3. I feel like this you're going to want to bring into Tier 3 at epic minimum. Epic Pack 3 definitely is what you want to be running this inside of Tier 3. Those are what I feel. Let me know if you guys feel the same. So with the lack of bounty contracts inside of game today, I decided to go Mega Abomination hunting. And we found our first Mega Abomination over here by this season porthole. And he fired up his laser attack, and we were able to do some pretty awesome damage to that Mega Abomination when he fired up his laser attack for sure. And then he started being the slide and was drifting left and right here. It was the strangest thing. I'm not sure what he's trying to do, trying out for breakdancing or something, but yeah, definitely Mega Abomination was up to some funky tricks for sure. So we put our thermite into his head to take out the second head on the Mega Abomination, and as we were doing that, I do have mags of holding on at this point, and just in case you guys didn't notice, I put those on. So that's why we're able to just kind of endlessly fire into our Mega Abomination. I did run out of ammo a couple times during this fight, so that can be an issue. You want to pay attention to ammo when you're using the Chimera for sure. It was something that I found I was dealing with inside of my game. But you can see the damage is definitely up there for the Chimera inside of, you know, tier 3, sorry, in your zombies games. Like, that Mega Abomination definitely was taking the damage for sure. You can see the Chimera was dishing out some very strong critical damage to that Mega Abomination side of tier 3 for sure. So then we found another Mega Abomination as my hunt continued to find these, as there were still no bounty contracts to be had inside of tier 3. But I figured this would be a good opportunity to show you guys just how viable this was and how I was able to use this inside of tier 3 with the absolute crazy congestion and chaos that tier 3 can bring in our games for sure. So we have a Mega Abomination in the area, we have a bunch of HVTs, we have a ton of zombies, we have armored zombies in the area, and this Chimera was definitely able to handle the congestion that is tier 3 for sure. Definitely handle the elites and the standard zombies and the sprinters for sure. Not much of an issue. When it comes to the Mega Abominations, I feel like this handles them and does definitely enough damage that this is something that you can run inside of your Modern Warfare 3 games for sure. Although again, I will say, if you're bringing this into tier 3, I feel like the minimum you would need to make this really viable and not just a constant bullet sponge would be Epic Tool Pack 3 or above. So Epic or Legendary is definitely what I feel is needed for this. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree, or if you've tried this at Blue Rarity inside of tier 3 or Pack 2. Let me know your results. I'd be interested to hear for sure. As well, don't forget, at the end of the video, I always share the weapon build, and that's where I'd love for all of us to work together to, you know, work on a build that we can all use inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games that is just absolutely amazing to use. Now, this Mega Abomination was bound and determined to get to me today. I was kind of chuckling at just how far he was running in order to be able to get over to try and take a chomp out of me for sure. It was kind of funny, but again, this is an awesome opportunity for you all to see just how viable this is, just how much damage it does. I mean, there's an armored zombie right there. Not much of an issue with the Chimera for sure. It's definitely dishing out the damage. That is something for sure. Mega Abomination came right up close and personal, and he seemed to be very offended that I was standing there and just pimp slapped me off the edge of the bridge there. Fired up his laser attack. We were able to do some decent damage to him at range for sure. And then again, look at him go. Like, he's going full bore, trying to get to me as fast as he possibly can. I was like, where are you going, my guy? Like, this is so bound and determined to come towards me and take me out. Look how fast he's coming down the stairs. Like, holy smokes. This Mega Abomination wanted me gone for sure. I don't think he was pleased. I took out all of his friends in the riffraff. They managed to show up. I think they went back down the other side of the bridge to come around and get me. It was like they were flanking me. I swear, this was one of the most congested areas I've seen inside of tier 3. It usually is. Under this bridge here, there's usually the buy station, and it's usually got a Mega Abomination, a ton of other HVTs, and a crazy amount of zombie spawns for sure. So I definitely want to take advantage to show you guys just how viable this is to be, you know, dealing with all of that, as, you know, we come across just these type of scenarios in all of our games when we're running inside of a Modern Warfare 3 Zombies for sure. So as you can see, this is definitely something that's going to be viable for us to use to handle crowd control inside of tier 3, the congestion that is tier 3. You know, a standard HVT, you've seen me take out one Mimic already. There's a second one here. He's halfway done his health. We've got manglers firing up their cannons and shooting at me like crazy. So this is definitely something that is viable. But again, you can see in the footage here, I do have to make sure I'm running over and grabbing ammo, as that definitely was an issue I noticed using this weapon today during the run. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys noticed that using this, or you felt that there was definitely enough ammo on the Chimera when you were using it for the run. But you can see the crowd control there is just like, the carnage is real. We cleared out just about everything right there that was coming at us. We got a mangler with the insta-kill left, so that was nice and easy work to finish off that crowd control for sure. But definitely something I wanted to show you guys, as it's definitely going to be viable for us to be using inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. And then, lo and behold, I was so excited that we finally were able to pick up a bounty contract inside of tier 3, and I was hoping to get a Mega Abomination. And at this point, I was just super excited to show you guys what this could do. We have a Mega Abomination bounty contract. I had been trying this entire run to find a Mega Abomination contract to show you guys how viable this is against the Mega Abomination bounty contract. And there you go. You can see fires up his laser attack. We were able to crack off his first head in almost no time right there. Take down a second one with a ton of damage right here. I had to hustle out of there as the horde was trying to consume me fast. And we got back up here to try and trigger another laser attack by our Mega Abomination, but he was not willing to be a willing participant in that for sure. And then we had a chance. He was coming at me. I was hoping to get his laser attack to shoot me. We had a whole bunch of riffraff coming at me in one direction only, so I figured this is an opportunity to again show you just how viable this is for crowd control, especially with Magda holding on. Like, holy smokes, we just melted everything that came in front of us. Used the energy mine to help out for sure. And then at this point, I was kind of caught off guard. There's the storm. The storm is inside of tier 3 and pushing on me right now. And I was determined to try and show you guys this Mega Abomination bounty contract. I figured, you know what? We've got 2 heads taken off this Mega Abomination. I should definitely be able to stick around and finish up this bounty contract to show you guys. And here we are shooting at that last laser. And then his health jumped to completely full. I was like, wait, what? The storm touched my Mega Abomination bounty contract and healed him back to full. I couldn't believe it. And then he seemed to have just the extra health from being inside the storm. So unfortunately, I had to bail. It was time to get the heck out of tier 3 and push to an exfil, as I had to leave tier 3 through the rift in the gas. This was quite the exfil. My heart was racing right here. I wasn't sure if I was even going to be making it to the exfil. As I got into my parachute, I was drifting and I wasn't sure if I was even going fast enough to outpace the storm. And thank goodness I was able to do that. So we were able to push through to another chaotic exfil here inside of tier 2. As the tier 1 exfils were they were out of reach at this point. So thank goodness I managed to get out. Unfortunately, I had to bail on that Mega Abomination bounty contract inside of tier 3. I do feel bad for that, but I was happy to get out of the match for sure. And definitely, I'm going to say this is going to be a viable weapon that you guys can all run inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games, the MW2 Chimera for sure. An amazing weapon suggestion for sure. Thank you so much for suggesting this weapon to run. I really did enjoy it and had an amazing run and tons of fun using it today. And like I said earlier in the video, this is the build that I ran. So let's make some changes if you guys feel they are needed down in the comments section, so we can all work together to have an absolutely amazing Chimera build to use inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. This is the camo that I was running today, as people like to know what I'm using. So that is it. It is in the event camos. And then the blueprint that I was running, just so that people know the exact gun that I was using today, I will show you. It is in your blueprints for assault rifles for the Chimera inside of MW2 weapons. And you will see that the blueprint I was running today is the Solo YOLO. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one.